All right, good morning, everyone. ZASLOW Show 2.0 here. It is a Thursday morning, the third morning of November. Good to have you aboard as we are streaming live to the entire world, okay? We are fully digital, so wherever you are hearing us, whatever app you are using, maybe you're watching this on the YouTube channel, but the podcast is obviously what we're focused on right now. ZASLOW Show 2.0. First week, day number 4. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Of course, obviously appreciate our title sponsor, Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. I send my friends, I send my family to them. If you're listening right now, you're my friend, all right? So I would send you to them if you have any type of injury or involved in any kind of accident. Massive thank you to my friends over there at Anidjar and Levine, title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0 from day number 1. Also want to let everybody know, now we got a lot going on today. A lot going on. I want to let everybody know, I made the announcement. We talked about it yesterday, and want to let everybody know this Saturday is the debut. You've been wanting, you've been asking for a pro wrestling show. I've been asking for a pro wrestling show. You got a pro wrestling show. ZASLOW Show 2.0 is every Monday through Friday, and on Saturdays, we are going to pump out, beginning this Saturday, the debut of It's Still Real to Me, all right? It is a pro wrestling specific show. We'll mix in pro wrestling on, ZASLOW Show 2.0 every now and then whenever we feel like it. I mean, I watched AEW Dynamite last night, of course. You had Monday Night Raw on Monday. My tribal chief Roman Reigns made a special appearance. We got SmackDown tomorrow night. It all leads to WWE Crown Jewel this Saturday afternoon from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And right after, we will give you immediate reaction. My pal, Joey Levine, and myself, we're doing the show every Saturday. It's Still Real to Me. It debuts under the ZASLOW Show 2.0 umbrella. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, you're listening right now. I've gotten great reaction already. You guys are excited, so that gets me excited. And you don't have to subscribe to anything extra. It's going to show up on your feed here for ZASLOW Show 2.0. It'll just be, on Saturday. Real easy to find. It'll be titled It's Still Real to Me. You won't have any trouble, all right? You'll find it. I promise. If you want to hit me up, ZASLOW J on Instagram, at ZASLOW Show on Twitter, of course, and everywhere that you can subscribe to the podcast is under my bio in the link tree on my Twitter page, at ZASLOW Show. So again, It's Still Real to Me debuts. It'll be a little bit of a late debut because we're going to go on right after the pay-per-view. So late Saturday afternoon, early evening, that'll be posted. Right before I head down to Hialeah at Unbranded Brewery, where you got CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling, which I'm really excited to check out for the very first time. It'll be the first ever indie wrestling show that I've ever been to. All right, anyway, a lot going on here, a lot to get to. Glad to have you aboard here on a Thursday ZASLOW Show 2.0. So, we got World Series last night. History was made. Just the second time there's ever been a no-hitter in the World Series. Don Larson, 1956, everybody knows that. Just the third time there's ever been a no-hitter in the postseason. I almost forgot about this, so I guess it's either 08 or 09. I think it was 09. Doc Holliday for the Philadelphia Phillies, complete game, no-hitter. Last night, of course, was not a complete game. It was a combined 4 pitchers. You had Christian Javier, who gave you 6 innings. We'll get to that. No-hitter, Astros right back in the series. So that's 2-2. Game 5 is tonight. The Dolphins, they extend Bradley Chubb. That's obviously a big, if we're doing big deal, not a big deal for the Dolphins extending Bradley Chubb. I mean, what a no-brainer. Yeah, that'd be a big deal, but what a no-brainer. I saw some stuff on Twitter after the Dolphins made the trade. Oh, he gave up a first-round pick. Guy's going to be a free agent next year. You think Stephen Ross, in his 80s, who we already talked about, I'm not trying to kill off Stephen Ross, but he's in his 80s. Stephen Ross, who we already know is out there wilding, trying to acquire quarterbacks who are under contracts with other teams, maybe offering your previous coach $100,000 to lose games. Stephen Ross out there wilding. You think Stephen Ross is going to allow his team to give up a first-round pick for Bradley Chubb, and then he's not going to spend the money? What the hell does Stephen Ross care about the money? I already told you, that's a part where there's a little bit of a danger to what Stephen Ross can do because he's more interested in the short term as opposed to what's best for the franchise long term. Chris Greer's got to balance the two there. That's his job. But the owner, he doesn't care about long-term. He's not going to be around long-term. Again, I'm not trying to kill Stephen Ross. He's not going to be around long-term. So what the hell does Stephen Ross care about the money? All right. They were never going to trade a first-round pick for Bradley Chubb and not give him the contract he wants. That is such a no-brainer. All right. So they got that done yesterday. He got a ton of money, like $120 million, 5 years, $60+ million guaranteed. Love it. Love it. Great week to be a Dolphin fan. This Sunday at Chicago Bears. We got NBA stuff. Kyrie Irving, joint statement with the Brooklyn Nets. Dude's a total a-hole. He's a garbage person. We'll get to that. All right. But first, what do we got to start out with? Your Miami Heat. Tyler Herro last night. Tyler Herro was your boy last night. How about your guy, Tyler Herro, with the huge fourth quarter? What was it? I think he had 13 in the fourth quarter. Tyler finished the game with 26 points. Tyler's a good rebounder for his size. 26 points, 12 rebounds, a big fat. Look, if you had Tyler Herro over under half an assist and you took the over last night, you lost. 0 assists. That stands out like a sore thumb, but it is what it is. Again, if over under was half an assist for Tyler Herro last night and you took the over, you were a loser. So Tyler Herro last night, 26 points, 12 rebounds. He was 12 of 21 overall. He hits the huge shots to Tyler Herro with the money shot. You've heard that call before. Tyler Herro with the money shot, 1.8 seconds left, wins the ball game. So you got a few stories from last night's game. The first story that we'll start with was no Jimmy Butler. You know, my son walks into the room last night, the Heat are trailing, and, the Heat suck, De'Aaron Fox isn't even playing. All right, Jimmy Butler's not playing. So you win the game without Jimmy Butler. You win back-to-back games for the first time this season. Now 4-5. Friday, you're playing at a putrid Pacer team, and you got a chance to kind of reset, get back to 500. Let's start this thing over 10 games in. So this has been a real good last couple days for the Heat. And the home crowd has been treated to a couple of thrilling finishes. Tuesday night against Golden State, Wednesday night against Sacramento. You get revenge against both those teams after losing last week at those two teams, 1-2 West Coast road trip. So the Heat do exactly what you had to do. The offense last night, you shot 49%, so you like that. The Heat's defense is still a joke. And yeah, you miss Jimmy, but if you're a great team defense, you should be able to manage minus one guy. All right, unless that guy's your big guy, your anchor, a guy like Bam Adebayo. You're going to suffer there. The Heat defense right now is a joke. The coach will tell you that. Like, to start the game, and the Kings got out in front early in the game, the Heat defense was pathetic to start the game. So that's story number 1 and 2. The Heat win without Jimmy Butler. Back-to-back wins for the first time this season. And the defense right now is pathetic. The way the Heat, they're 4-5. Like I said, you want to get back to 500, 5-5, and then kind of reset. You get Jimmy back in the lineup. Let's go from there. The coach said a couple games ago, we're close, we're not that far off. Then they beat the champs, and they won last night. You like being able to win close, late games. That's going to help you moving forward. You get some stops, that's going to help you. But the defense is pathetic right now. They're not going to beat very many teams. They're not going to be any good teams playing the way they're playing right now. The defense is not good, and the offense at times has struggled. We talked about it yesterday. Ball movement, specifically when Tyler Herro has the ball so much, the ball movement hasn't been there. Now, story number 3. Story 1, no Jimmy Butler, they win. Story number 2, the Heat defense, pathetic. Story number 3, Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry had a great game last night. Kyle Lowry had a great game. Now, ZASLOW, you see, no. We're 9 games into the season. $30 million a year. 1 game out of 9 where I sit here and say Kyle Lowry had a great game. It's not good enough. So don't give me the whole, I see Kyle Lowry's ZASLOW. No. I don't understand why Kyle Lowry can't play that way more often. Now, did Kyle have the ball in his hands more than previous games? Yes. Maybe there's a little something to do there, where he's talked about not having the ball in his hands as much this season. Maybe the ball needs to be in his hands a little bit more. All right. Kyle Lowry was very good last night, and it wasn't where he was non-existent in the first half against Golden State and a very good second half against Golden State. No, he was really good from start to finish last night. All right. Look, I think Kyle Lowry stinks, but I also would like to be very wrong about Kyle Lowry. We've talked about that. I would like nothing more than to be really wrong about Kyle Lowry and the type of season that he's going to have with the Heat this year. I don't think I'm going to be wrong. I don't think we're going to get many performances last night. He was really good last night. So that's story number 3, Kyle Lowry. Story number 4. So fourth quarter, you got a tight game here. Tyler Herro is having a huge fourth quarter. The Heat are down by 3 now. They fell behind by 8, I think. They're down by 3 now. Tyler misses a 3, and Kevin Herter on the other end, he hits the 3. There's 3 minutes left. Actually, I think it was a 3 to take the lead, so I think that puts Sacramento back up by 4 now. Whatever it was something like that. Kevin Herter, by the way, random Heat killer. Killed the Heat last week, had another good game last night. Almost didn't recognize him growing out the hair now. A handsome kid, grow out the hair. So, big sequence there. The Heat wind up coming back. They finally do take the lead. Gabe Vincent with the layup with about 2:20 left in the game. The Heat get a stop. Max Strus, 3-pointer. Boom! 4-point lead. Big sequence. Vincent layup, stop, Strus 3, Heat lead, 4 points up, just over 2 minutes remaining in the game. Then, Kings come back, tie the game. Free throw, 3-pointer, boom, we're tied. Kyle Lowry, he regains the lead for Miami. 30 seconds remaining. Like I said, Kyle had a very good game yesterday. I don't know why we can't get that Kyle Lowry more often. Kyle, and that was the second of it back-to-back too. It's like, oh, he's fresh, he's rested. Second of it back-to-back. So Kyle Lowry regains the lead for Miami. 30 seconds left. Then you got Tyler Herro. Tie game. Sacramento ties it on the free throw line. Domantas Sabonis, I believe it was, knocks down 2 free throws. Then Tyler Herro. Here's the final big story and the biggest story of the game last night. Tyler Herro, 3 inbound to Tyler, gets loose, jump stop, pump fake, 3-pointer, boom, baby. 1.8 seconds left. Tyler hits the 3. Immediate inbounds on the other end of the floor because the Kings have no timeouts left. They throw it the length of the floor to Sabonis. He tries to desperately draw a foul. Easy offensive call. Elbows Bam Adebayo under the chin, top of the chest. Very easy call. They review it for flagrant foul. It's not a flagrant foul, all right? Hey, can we butch up a little bit? That's not a flagrant foul. Offensive foul, easy call. Heat win the game, all right? But Herro hits the 3 with 1.8 seconds left to win it. So now, give this a listen, okay? Give this a listen. Here is the head coach of the Kings, Mike Brown, after the game. Oh, wham! Wham! Look, he may have traveled. He may have traveled, all right? He may have traveled. I'm watching the play live, and I'm thinking to myself, it's wham, Mike Brown. But it's really tough if you're on that side. If I'm a Kings fan, or look, if it was the Kings who did that, I'd have been pissed off because he gathers his dribble, Tyler, pump fakes, and after the pump fake, it's hard to tell if his right foot or his left foot. Now, naturally, his left foot's going to be his pivot, but it's hard to tell if his right or his left is his pivot. And he clearly steps up with his right foot. Okay, so I guess that's not his pivot foot. And then the left foot. It's really tough to tell if he lifted his left foot. He certainly may have. If it happened the other way around, I'd be really pissed off. Let's be honest. I gotta be honest. I'd be really pissed. Wham, Mike Brown. But if it was the other way around, I'd be pissed. Nonetheless, Tyler Herro's your boy. He knocks down, he's cold-blooded. He knocks down the 3. Tyler finishes with 26. The Heat are 4-5. You think I need to lose? You think I need to get swept by the Kings twice in the span of a week and get swept in the season series? You think I need that in my life? So the Heat winds up winning their second straight game. And now you got a chance to get to 500 on Friday. So good job out of Miami last night. Heat fan in attendance 2 nights in a row. Treated to very good finishes. You got the Kings. They're upset after the game. The Heat, they'll get out of town. They don't care. They'll take the W. There you have it. Other NBA stuff last night. Let's see real quick here. Other NBA stuff last night. You had the Knicks. The Knicks were up big, and then they ended up getting smoked. It was like a 24-point turnaround. I think or 34. I think they were up by 21. They lost by 13. Lakers last night. Someone called Matt Ryan. All right. Now, Matt Ryan's not Hillbilly Kobe, right? I think Austin Reeves is Hillbilly Kobe. Matt Ryan is not Hillbilly Kobe. But someone called Matt Ryan hit a corner three, fading away, nothing but net, at the buzzer at the end of regulation. Sends the game to OT against the Pelicans. Pelicans are still without Brandon Ingram. Once they get healthy, I think they're a really good team. And the Lakers win for the second time this year. That's back-to-back wins. It's happened before. It's happened before in Laker history. They've won back-to-back games, but first time this year. And they wind up beating the Pelicans in overtime there. I wake up this morning. I always check Twitter it's part of my routine. I check Twitter when I wake up. I see what's trending. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything in the middle of the night. Make sure there wasn't a news dump somewhere. So I see Matt Ryan's trending. I go, oh, the Colts release him? Whatever, Matt Ryan. I've never even heard of this guy for the Lakers. I got to be honest. You know him in NBA. I'm not sure I know who this guy is. So he ends up hitting the three. Place goes crazy. They win in overtime. There you have it. Boy, I tell you, the Lakers, they're 2-5 now. They went back-to-back games. After they won their first game, they brought out the champagne in the locker room. And I'm not kidding. I know it's because it was Darvin Ham's first ever win, but give me a break. You were 0-5. We're celebrating like that? Come on. So Lakers get their second win, but I think the big NBA story as far as games go, this league loves the drama. As far as the games go, the big story last night, Cavs and Celtics. I'm glad that game went to overtime because the Heat game ends last night. I turn on Cavs Celtics. I get to see the final few minutes of regulation and then got to watch all of overtime. I jumped off the couch when Jason Tatum had the dunk to tie. Oh! Jumped off the couch. That should have been a foul too. Jared Allen absolutely fouled him. Jason Tatum was complaining that he got fouled. That game should have been over in regulation. But I'm glad it went to overtime because, I got to see a good portion of the game now because the Heat game had just ended. So, Cavs outlast the Celtics. Jaylen Brown missed a tough jumper with just a second and a half remaining. Bad blunder by Jaylen Brown, dribbling the basketball off the free throw miss. You don't get to advance the ball. They had to call both timeouts, and then they get to advance. Lucky that Joe Mazzulla, coach of the Celtics, had that extra timeout. Otherwise, they wouldn't even have gotten a halfway decent shot off. So, rookie move by Jaylen Brown in that spot. He winds up missing the jumper that could have won it, and the Cavaliers win. I hate Cleveland. F Cleveland. But that Cavaliers team is fun. I would like to watch them again. That's a fun team. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, who the Brooklyn Nets got rid of because they wanted to start Kyrie and Katie's friend DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan must be the greatest friend because he sucks. And Jared Allen is an all-star. DeAndre Jordan must be the best friend. They shipped Jared Allen out for that guy. Jared Allen, Kevin Love having a resurgence off the bench. Karis LeVert's a nice little player. Cavaliers, good team. They are a fun team. And I'm not looking at it, the Heat could have had Donovan Mitchell. I like Tyler Herro. I like our guy. I'm fine with it. So the Cavaliers, they are 6-1. They have won 5 games in a row. That I think is the big story from the NBA last night is the Cavaliers. That's a good team. And they're a new team. So the fact that they look this good, and Darius Garland just returned, come talk to me in 50 games from now. 5-0, 50 games from now. See how the Cavaliers look. They're going to be good. That's a good team. All right. When it gets to the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb, extension, we'll get to all that good stuff. Let's make a pit stop here. I got to talk about the World Series. So last night, World Series Game 4, Astros win 5-0. You got the combined no-hitter. Christian Javier, he goes, let me just get the numbers right in front of me. He goes 6 innings, I believe it was. 6 innings, no runs, no hits. I think he struck out 9 batters, and it's a combined no-hitter. So Javier last night, 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 97 pitches. No hits, no runs. Combined no-hitter, 3 relief pitchers, 1 inning each. Now, the first thing that you got to talk about is Doesn't feel like a no-hitter. It's only the third time in postseason history has been a no-hitter. You got Don Larson, 1956 World Series. Everybody knows that. You got Roy Halladay, which I think I forgot about. Either 08 or 09. And now you have this combined no-hitter. Second time ever World Series, third time ever postseason, first time combined no-hitter. To me, now the most important thing is very obviously winning the game. So much more important to win the game. But my point is, why did they need to take him out then? I'm not saying like if he's trying to go a complete game no-hitter and going into the 8th inning or going into the 9th inning, he's at 115, 120 pitches. He's never pitched that many. He's never thrown that many pitches. Even at that point, they're not up 1-0. They're not up 2-0. They're up 5-0. It's only been 6 innings. He's only thrown 97 pitches. If he were to get into any kind of trouble, if he allows a base runner, all right, let's get him out of there. There's still no real threat. Now, I understand Phillies were down 5-0 in game number 1, came back and won the game. I get it. I mean, how many times is that going to happen in the World Series? But Phillies are down 5-0 in game 1, they came back. It's 5-0 last night. Let's say Javier gives up a hit. You got a base runner. All right. Go to the bullpen. Now, I do understand. Dusty Baker said after the game. Now, he's only gone more than 6 innings, I think twice this year, Christian Javier. Okay. That's something to consider. And Dusty Baker has got a plan, he said. There's a plan. There's a benchmark. 100 pitches was the benchmark for him. He was at 97, so now they're taking him out. They don't want to veer away from the way they handled him, and there are other pitchers for that matter as well, from the way they handled them in the regular season. It's not the regular season. It's postseason. You're not handling pitchers. You're not handling anything the same way in the World Series as you do in the regular season. Case in point, if your starting pitcher, it's the 2nd inning, and he lets a couple guys on base, you're already down 2-0. What happens in the postseason? What happens in the World Series when that happens? They yank the pitcher. What? It's only a 2nd inning. We're only down 2-0. You would never do that in the regular season. You would never do that. No, but it's the postseason. Rules are different. Same thing here. It's the postseason. Rules are different. It's an historic thing. You've only had 1 World Series no-hitter. Only 2 in the postseason. And he's not in any kind of trouble. It's only been 6 innings. He's only thrown 97 pitches. You don't need to handle things the way that you did in the regular season. This is the postseason. Things are a little bit different. And on top of that, they're playing again tonight. Of course, it's game 5. How much better would you feel if instead of using 3 relief pitchers last night, they used 3 relief pitchers, 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, they each pitched 1 inning. How much better would you feel if you only used 1 of them? Maybe Javier went 8 innings instead of 6. You only had to use 1 other pitcher last night from your bullpen instead of 3. And now you got game 5 tonight. And I don't have it in front of me, but game 6 is probably Friday because they lost a day because of the rain out. So I don't know if there's another day off in this series. Let me see here. Tonight you have game 5. Oh yeah, there is another day off. Okay, so Saturday's game 6 and Sunday's potential game 7. Nonetheless, you're playing tonight. How much better would you feel if you only use 1 guy out of your bullpen than you use 3 guys? So it is a no-hitter. It doesn't feel like a no-hitter to me. By far the most important thing is winning that game, not getting the no-hitter. That's easily the most important thing for the Astros fan right now. But for me last night, don't treat this like it's a regular season game. It's not a regular season game. He's only pitched past the 6th inning a couple times. We wanted to keep him at 100 pitches. He's only got, I think he pitched 115 is like his max this year. This isn't the regular season. This is the postseason. Rules are a little bit different. Let him keep going. And another case in point here. When the Marlins won the World Series in 2003, Josh Beckett, going into that postseason, had never pitched a complete game. Never. We all remember Josh Beckett was great, really good with the Marlins, really good with the Red Sox, multi-time World Series winner, World Series MVP 2003. Complete game shutout, 2-0. Game 6, Yankee Stadium. Marlins win their second World Series. Josh Beckett. Going into that postseason, Josh Beckett had never pitched a complete game. And then he pitched 2 in that postseason. Game 5, NLCS to keep the Marlins alive against the Cubs. Complete game. Marlins, of course, win 6 and 7. They come back down 3 games to 1. Everybody knows that. And then game 6 in the World Series, Josh Beckett, complete game shutouts. Marlins win the World Series. Going into that postseason, Josh Beckett had never pitched a complete game. So what if Jack McKeon going into that postseason says, you know what, he's never, we wouldn't keep him in this long in the regular season. He's never pitched a no-hitter, a complete game. You can't risk it. What if he did that? Marlins maybe never even get out of the NLCS. Maybe they never win that game 6 in the World Series. Go to game 7, who knows what happens. Postseason's different. Dusty should have let him keep going yesterday. And if he gets into any kind of trouble, you take him out. It's not 1-0. It's 5-0. You got a little bit of wiggle room here. Now, as far as the overall World Series, I told you yesterday, I still think Houston wins this series. Tonight is obviously a must-have for Philadelphia. You can't go to Houston needing both games. Like, I would almost put it, if Philly wins this game tonight and they go up 3-2, I would still put it at 50-50, the World Series. Like, would I rather be the Phillies needing 1 out of 2 on the road? Or would I rather be the Astros needing 2 at home? That's 50. Look, either they're going to win or not. That's 50-50. One or the other. No, but seriously. Phillies need 1 out of 2 on the road, or Astros need 2 at home. I don't know. That's pretty similar to me. It's pretty similar. And I told you, the 2-3-2 format, I think seriously favors the team that has home field advantage. The team that has the first 2 games, Houston, they won. Not only are they're going to be better than the other team. That's why they have home field advantage. It goes by record now, not the All-Star game anymore. It goes by record. They were 19 games better than the Phillies this year. They're a better team. Even if they split the first 2 games in Houston, which they did, all the Astros need to do is get 1 out of 3. You bring it back for 6 and 7 at home, and you're comfortable. You go win 2 home games, no problem. There's very little chance the Phillies were going to sweep these middle 3 games. They obviously did not. And I think the 2-3-2 format's a major advantage for the Astros, major advantage for the team that winds up with the home field. So you got game 5 tonight, World Series, 8:03 tonight. Very big sports night. How about this sports night? Philadelphia, Houston, World Series, game 5. How about Thursday night football? Philadelphia, Houston. What? Philadelphia, Houston, World Series, game 5. Philadelphia, Houston, Thursday night football. I don't know the proximity of the tonight though is in Philadelphia. I don't know the proximity of the 2 buildings. Oh, well, no, tonight's in Philadelphia. So proximity doesn't matter. Scratch that part. Nonetheless, though, Houston, Philadelphia, baseball. Houston, Philadelphia, football. That's a night right there. What do you do now? Look, ZASLOW Mansion, family room, big TV, small TV status. If this was me, I'm a Philly fan or I'm an Astro fan. The World Series gets the big TV. Obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. I would be interested in what the ratings are. I don't think you get ratings with Prime Video. But big TV's World Series, small TV's the football. That's some kind of night. That's a night right there. Philadelphia and Houston, World Series. Philadelphia and Houston, football. Now you can say, hey, it's not as important for Houston. They're 1-5-1. Texans are 1-5-1. They're going to be paying all their attention to the World Series. And Philadelphia, they're caring a lot more about the World Series. But Eagles are undefeated. Like, that's kind of a big thing. Eagles are undefeated. So that's an incredible sports night right there for those 2 cities, but especially for Philadelphia.